Hey everyone, we'll get started in just a minute. AR, why don't you talk a little bit?
Talking. I did a Digimon panel last week. Why do I have to talk again?
Because you have made the poor decision of being on a regularly scheduled show.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
Yeah. In fact, I think you get the blame for that because you volunteered in the first place.
I did volunteer in the first place, but that was for a guest slot.
That's true.
I've never done a podcast before. I could jump in here, see how it goes.
Okay, I've gone ahead and tweaked both our levels. Why don't you guys let me know how we sound? Because I've seriously changed the way AR's audio is working in this episode compared to in the past. Last time was mine. AR, why don't you talk a little bit now again?
Okay, talking a little bit more. Welcome to the Digimon panel. My name's AR Palver.
Today's
I do
episode
stuff.
today's episode is Do Mark and AR survive?
I'm not too worried about it because I haven't really paid attention to all the Kizuna merch. So you take that out, it's actually kind of a light episode.
Yeah, I could tell that you were vaguely aware how much there was when you weren't really making any suggestions at all. It was basically do what you're gonna do, Mark, and we'll deal with it.
Yeah, well, the run order is pretty straightforward.
Okay, you ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go ahead and grab 30 seconds of silence starting now. Okay, that should be good. Hopefully all the cards are in the right order because Lost had the tap out last night and I ended up working on the cards until like 3 or 3:30 and then I threw them in. So we will see if I did everything correct.
We might have some surprises here.
Yeah, it's
have some sudden run order. Might have some random gifts from your catalog, from your folders, just randomly pop up.
In that case, no, because I actually make a different folder for every episode.
Oh.
Now, there's other stuff in those folders, like old cards, random images that I'm going to throw on stuff, but we will see.
Just going to do a random click and we'll suddenly be talking about the Tamers audio again.
Functionally, there's only one mistake, and no one would know about it if I weren't talking about it right now, which is one card is misnumbered, and I only noticed it after I laid everything down, and by that point it wasn't worth changing because it doesn't honestly matter what the file names are, as long as they're in the right order.
Oh, the file name's wrong? Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, because it's basically, there's card 10, then there's card 12.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's not that's a...
Yeah, but you have to remember,
that's a file structure
you have to remember, person who runs the podcast has crazy OCD. So it is a problem theoretically.
So just make up a topic and have that free file 11.
Yeah, you're going to regret saying that because if I remember, I'm actually going to stop and do that. Shall we go ahead and get started?
Get that out of the way. Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me just check one more. Okay. Welcome to With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain and inform while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, I run With the Will.
And I'm AR Palver, Digimon System Restore, and finally back in the convention panel game after taking a year off.
Yeah, you seemed very happy. It was a week and a half ago, I think.
It was last week. Last week, like right now, actually.
Oh, okay, so it actually was last. Yeah, you seemed very happy both before and after, I would say.
Yeah, it was nice because I didn't do any panels in 2019 for various reasons.
You didn't do any?
I did not do any in 2019. A lot of it was because...
I could have sworn you did one with, like, Paul St. Peter or someone. I thought you did, one.
That was a couple of years ago. That was 2 or 3 years ago now.
Man,
and one of them, Paul St. Peter, just showed up for it.
Okay, that may be what it's weird because we've gotten very used to each other's schedules and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, but I didn't do any. I didn't do any at this
Yeah.
particular convention last year because I was staffing and didn't know my schedule.
Okay.
This year, I was like, just let me do my panel. You don't need me the whole time. Just
Okay.
assume I'll be gone for this hour, and they did. They accommodated it, and it went very well. And I'm also happy to announce that I was approved for a panel at Anime Central in Chicago this May. So I will be doing it again at least once. I'll probably do it at Kitsune Con in Green Bay in July. No anticipation of having a guest on, although Ben Diskin, who is the voice of Shoutmon and Dorumon in Rear Eyes, is also going to be at that con.
That makes. Are they still hiding that it's him? Do we have quote unquote proof at this point that's him, or are we still just going, yes, that is clearly Ben Diskin?
It's gotta be him.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's really,
it
you know it's him.
100% is him. I'm just wondering, did we ever get like a credit roll or him saying it's him? Because at first, like he was like, "Oh, I don't know what they're talking about." I mean, did we ever end up with a proper cast list or?
I don't know if we ever did. I mean, some of them we just sort of know, but like we
Or,
know Tom Fon, and that's got to be
yeah.
Sam Riegel as Kudamon.
Or did we sort of just go, "Holy shit, that sounds like Elmo," and then moved on with our lives?
Yeah, it might be it. We don't. No, nobody wants to take credit for
Yeah.
being the voice of Erismon.
Okay, let's go. Before we get started, the movie's out. We are not going to talk about spoilers, but let's go ahead and. I think AR and me are on the same wavelength on what we aren't talking about spoilers means, but let's go ahead and explain it to anyone out there on the off chance you think something different. So, AR, what do you think we mean by no spoilers?
What I think by no spoilers is we're not going to talk about anything that you have to get from either the novels or
Someone who's seen the movie.
someone who's seen it and
Yes.
leaks the information. Now, I'm extending that to the subjects that are discussed in translated interviews. I didn't really
Yes.
read any of those.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We aren't going to talk about plot and character development type stuff, but we are going to talk and show character evolutions, which we've seen in trailers, card artwork, stuff that unless you are just avoiding everything, you've reasonably seen it. So consider this fair warning. You will see the new evolutions.
If they put it in an advertisement, it's fair game.
Yes. And I had this argument last night elsewhere, but that's what we're doing for here. Consider this fair warning.
It's been an argument all week, really.
No, it had. There's been more relevant things to argue regarding that stuff, I think, though. Because
yeah, especially because there was an interview that came out.
With
where the thumbnail had a
no. See, here's the thing here's what pissed people off. The interview actually has no spoilers, and the photo does not mean anything. Someone added spoilers to it, assuming the interview mentioned it.
Oh, that's not
so the spoiler that is floated around is not actually in the interview. It's not mentioned, and in fact, the photo does not
context with the thumbnail, but somebody added context to the thumbnail that they really shouldn't have.
It is the type of thing where maybe the photo's a spoiler, or maybe it's just someone with a prop. There is no explanation what it is. It's just showing something.
Yeah.
Someone added context to it saying, this is X, this is Y, and that has nothing to do with what's actually in the article. And I actually double-checked this with 2 or 3 people. It is not there. So someone effectively pulled a spoiler out of thin air because it does not exist. And we can guess that what it is, but it is not actually there.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the picture, I immediately
I
put 2 and 2 together, but it didn't give it away.
So like for example, the original picture from the original source I retweeted, it is not in the episode because I knew we would discuss that context. So it is not even here for us to go, this is the photo we're talking about.
We're not going to explain any of this.
So let us go ahead but we're explaining this stuff now because we're not
going to fill in any of the blanks that
we're just doing this because if you really want to know nothing, go away and come back in a month.
If you really want to know absolutely nothing, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah. Now, I believe. I
Like
believe.
I'm not like I don't. I would like to know nothing, but I know a few things, and
I run a website. It is not.
yeah, you don't
It is
really have a
not
choice.
functionally possible for me
Mm-hmm.
to be spoiler free.
The funny thing is, it's not that I don't care. Like, it's not that I don't mind being spoiled in theory so much with this one. Like, I was more concerned with it with Try. Like, it doesn't feel like that sort of movie where dodging spoilers is absolutely essential.
Yeah.
My thing is that the stuff that I have seen and the various whispers I've heard from people who have been spoiled just seem kind of more down on it than I I would prefer. It's like I want to go into this positive.
Well, see, here's the thing: the down stuff has generally been people reading Japanese spoilers of people who are happy with it.
Yeah, that's
It is basically the downer crew going, well, I read spoilers and I don't like it. And it's like, yeah, you haven't fucking
yeah.
seen the movie. You've been bitching about it for half a year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's the people who just complain nonstop. So
Yeah.
so fair warning to everyone, we're going ahead and get started. So first up, the movie is out. It's already doing. We don't have full first weekend numbers, but the first couple days actually looked reasonably positive. At this point, it would have the first Friday and Saturday would have bumped past what Try Part 1 did. It looked like the overall weekend was going to be about double last I saw.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah. Um so it's out. The We didn't really get to talk about it because it came and went, the little augmented reality game they did.
Yeah.
And when it ended, we got that neat art of Taichi and Agumon, who anyone watching the video can see at the bottom right. I mean, that's just great art.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's not much to talk about here, purely because we're just not going to. We got the final trailer. The way they revealed the new Digimon felt a bit odd, even for them. It was just, here's a 15-second commercial, enjoy. And like with Merciful Mode, we got the big poster and everything.
Yeah.
Here it was sort of just, it was a commercial, and wait, they're showing us the Digimon, and okay.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, there they are.
Yeah,
Okay.
it like with Merciful Mode, they really,
Up close they kind of ugly.
I would say well, there's more to talk about them later. I'd say they have interesting designs. I question if I like them. At
Oh,
least,
I don't question it. I don't like them.
well, here's the thing.
For I should say up close, I don't like them. Some of the other ones that we'll get, some of the other images we've gotten to later, they look a lot better. But
Well,
from the commercial itself, no,
oh
I
no,
don't
no,
like them at
no.
all.
In the context of the commercial, they don't look good. I don't think they
Mm-hmm.
necessarily picked great shots to show us, because those are shots that, in theory, like, it's the shots you want to have emotion behind them. You don't when you're watching a 15-second
Yeah,
commercial.
yeah.
Like those are not like the pretty shots. Those are the ones where like you're supposed to be like leaning forward in your chair after an hour and a half of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not there, but we did get profile art of Eosmon, which
Yeah.
they shaded it very nicely. There just wasn't room to include it. There was too much stuff to include on cards this time. But yeah, the art's nice. Remember, in notes, we will link all this junk. Various cast screenings have popped up. There will be more of them. The more interesting thing is they announced Australia and New Zealand screenings March 7th. Although it's become less clear. It's become less clear over time what the hell that is. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no.
Okay. At first,
Go on.
it appeared it was going to be roughly what we're getting here, but then it was announced that it was going to be a screening at Anime Fest on March 7th. So is it just that?
Oh.
Because there was mentions of New Zealand, so it feels like it might just be odd wording, but we'll find out. I it's hard to say at this point, but there'll be something for people in Australia.
New Zealand, you'd have to think it's beyond just one convention.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. And the problem is it's not like I'm sitting there skimming through ticket listings for Australia and New Zealand to check.
Right. It's almost like that they're doing a bunch of screenings, and this
Yeah.
anime festival is one of them.
Yeah. So it's just the type of thing where those of you in those
Which
countries
is
will have
which
to
is a
look.
thing that they've
Yeah.
that I've seen conventions
Yeah.
do sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that they will partner up and get a screening
Yeah.
for something.
Yeah. And we get it March 25th, so a bit over a month. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I haven't gotten the spoilers, so yes, I am looking forward to it.
Do we have anything else to say about the movie? Because I think there's also the concern, like, we don't want to spoil anything based on what we know.
Right.
Do we have anything else to say about the movie itself?
Honestly, not really.
It exists, and we're doing.
It exists, and it's getting a good media blitz. It's getting a good merchandise blitz.
Oh, it's
to the point where I'm actually a little overwhelmed by it. Like, okay,
no. The funny
is
part,
getting a bit much here.
The funny part is, I've gotten messages like May was saying, like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but it was roughly, it's actually been impressive to see you trying to keep up with everything. It's been hard to keep up just reading about everything you've been throwing up.
Yeah.
Because there's been a
I'm glad I can pick and choose the stuff I get to share and
like
follow up with.
Do you remember when Try Part 6 came out? We went, wow, look at all this stuff. I wonder when they'll top it.
Yeah, they topped it.
Well, and here's the crazy thing. If you just take the last week, they've topped it.
Yeah, I mean, Try 6 had
a lot,
like four or five different collaboration events going on at the same time.
And those were just the big ones. They had maybe a few more small ones, but this time there's been so many. There's ones that aren't even mentioned at all. Like, it wasn't like they existed, but there was no relevance to even doing news. Stuff like, oh, if you retweet this battery poster, stuff that where there's no new art, it's just companies being involved.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to, was it last time where someone actually asked us how I decide stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that where it's not new art. There is nothing to discuss. It's just, if you're Japanese, you can retweet this, follow this, and enter for battery with pre-existing artwork. There's like 20, 30, 40 of those.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every theater's doing one. It's just a ton of stuff. And because I decided this had to be done before the movie came out, hey, redid the website.
Yeah, well, I had some time.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, this has been in the works for a while. It just hit the point where I'm like, movie's out Friday, new show in April. There is no longer any real time to go rip down the site for half a day to get it done.
When was that icon made?
That was only like started a month ago, maybe.
Oh, okay. Because I'm ready to call it with the will sigh.
Yeah, that. Basically, we had done a number of new logos, and none of them, either me or Lost, were completely happy with. But at some point, it was like, it looks nice. It kind of looks like the podcast logo. That's good enough. Let's move on. And then a couple days after we got the logo for the show, my brain started to blink, and I'm like, I have an idea. Went over it with Lost. He popped up with a few prototypes based on it, and that got ironed out reasonably quickly.
Yeah.
And I think it's odd because it not only works, it's not inherently that different from the old logo.
Right.
Like where we have the slightly italicized thin text. It just happens that look goes very well with the look. The site works. It didn't explode or anything, which is very nice. Well, because the dumb thing is we getting it up, you don't know what's actually going to work.
Oh, I know.
And it was rather shocking just how little didn't work, to be honest. Like, everything is working. People seem to really like the mobile look, which I'm happy with because I think that's one place where it does stand out. And honestly, the thing I'm happiest with is just it looks nice to the point that even people who admit they don't like when websites change don't really have any complaints.
Yeah, looks all right.
Like, it looks nice. The colors are the same.
It's just a little streamlined and such.
Yeah, we We basically did everything that were actually improvements. We didn't go, well, this is how we think a Digimon site should look, and you'll get used to it. It basically was going off the stuff people liked and refining it. And also making it so the front page could have more than 5 pieces of news.
Because that's important now. That's a big deal now.
Yeah. The thing I don't think most people realize was the old forum we put up in 2012, but the software was from about 2008 or 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So it was already old at that point, but their newer one was still in beta. We looked at it for upgrading. It just didn't really feel like it worked. So everything new and modern, and it works, which I'm still vaguely shocked that it works, to be honest. I'm happy it does, but it shocked me that it went well and people liked it. Almost so far, the only 2 complaints that I've gotten are, could we make the icon square again? And I will think about it. Okay. So, and there's still little revisions to do, but I think that's about all for that. And in theory, the main thing, let's see, AR talk for a minute so I can send someone a message.
About the new website or what?
Whatever. Why don't you start our current topic about?
About about the next short. So this first short for the first Digimon Immortal short actually was popped up on YouTube a couple weeks ago.
The funny part was this was again a case where they didn't tell, like, we vaguely knew it was coming, and they sort of just went, "Here you fucking go."
Yeah, yes, here you go. Subtitle and everything. Don't need to bother. Okay, just here you hits go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a quick memorial short of Sora. Everybody can go watch this, so we don't have any qualms about talking about it in its entirety.
I believe it tried to start playing in my browser, so there may be 1 or 2 seconds of audio in there for anyone who is listening.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. But yeah, it's a nice simple it's a nice very quick story about catching up on where everyone is, particularly Sora. There's this really awkward conversation between Sora and Mimi where they're just talking about where everybody is. That's clearly more for the audience than anybody else.
Can we go over the oddness about, like, we actually do see them using the smartphones and everything? So
yeah, sure.
It's sort of what we talked about. It was a while ago where we basically said this is basically the only time frame where they can still sort of play with them being kids even though they're adults, and they can use modern technology without it seeming odd.
Mm-hmm.
And it still felt weird to see it because, like, we're not used to them doing that. Like, it just showed.
I didn't find it odd at all, but I've also been watching Appmon for the last few months, so it just sort of rubs off.
Yeah.
Like, their Appmon kids are using smartphones all the time. The adventure kids would be too.
Now, what's interesting is did it seem like a lot of people felt negative about Sora specifically after watching this, and it felt like they kind of missed the point?
Oh, really? Almost all of the comments I heard on it were positive.
Oh, no. People were positive on the short. I saw a lot of people commenting on Sora abandoning them. And it's like that completely misses the point. It's that she is allowed to have her own life, and they do not. It is not the position of adventure or try where she has to be there to make sure everything's held together.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice parallel between her obligations to her family and her obligations to being a chosen.
Yes.
Like, she kind of is in the same boat with both, where she really is kind of tired of all the going out and having to save the day and disrupting her real life all the time. It's something that you do want to get past at some point. And at the same time, she's not entirely committed to the whole flower arranging thing. And she still finds herself tied to both, and having her go through this process of realizing, no, I need to get past all this.
Yeah. But
It's a really strong moment for her.
no, it is, and it's especially interesting because it is where she can spend the time to try to figure out who she's going to be, which is paralleled with what they've said the movie is about,
Mm-hmm.
which is the idea of someone of them growing up and not having the infinite potential anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting
It's
thing is that they and the interesting thing is she's both making a decision which they've commented on in trailers and everything, but also it means she's not fighting, which is also something they've put her in a specifically opposite position of things that they've told us in the trailers.
mm-hmm. It's a nice juxtaposition as well with Joe in the second Try movie, because he was in a position where he kind of had to, but he really didn't want to, and Sora is realizing the luxury where she doesn't have to,
Yeah.
and she can go, okay, I don't really have to do this anymore. It's covered. I can kind of move on.
Yeah.
And I just hope we make sure. I hope it's very much implied that she's also going to eventually, give up flower arranging. I do kind of want to see that in the movie, but either way, we get the idea and the direction she's going to head.
I'm just trying to think about the last. See, the problem is I want to keep making war game jokes and just say she's just going to go off to Hawaii with Mimi, and that's going to be it. Because
tennis camp.
Because that also is the position of this, or at least it feels like it's giving us an explanation why it's not going to be the Sora show.
Yeah.
Not that I think any of us expected, but this one really is positioning where not just for Sora, but explanations why people are not going to be forward facing.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing to do, because it was something you sort of both expect it and are annoyed by it. The fact that Sora and other characters don't get enough action in movies like these.
But that's also
this is sort of like, this isn't a
consolation
bad thing
prize
in her case. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's I'm glad these shorts exist.
And did you see how high the view counters have gone on these?
No. What was the viewership on that?
The English one, I believe, was up to about 450,000, and the Japanese was at about 350,000. Like, they were pretty high.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Having said that, that's the other thing, is just going through Appmon and seeing these kind of hits that Astro racks up. It's like, that's not that great.
I know, but for basically an unadvertised 6-minute prequel, that's an interesting number.
Yeah.
I do feel like they should be trying to pimp it a little bit harder in the month up to the screening, though.
Oh, did the official US accounts put that on there?
They did, but they
could do it again.
Yeah, they basically throw it up once and then move on. Like, there's a month, throw it up maybe once a week. Throw it up on like a Saturday. Just link to it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it like a couple days before. Yeah. Just say, hey, if you want to get pumped up watch this short 6 minutes of Sora and Piomon and Mimi talking about how she's not going to fight.
While it's Sora's story, we need to talk about the two heroes of the short, which is Palmon just like fucking around with clothing and stuff. Like, she just keeps walking off screen and then back on. And Patamon drinking the coffee.
Oh yeah, Patamon Starbucks Patamon. You see, they're continuing with Takeru going full hipster here.
But the problem is less hats this time. It was completely.
It's a 90-minute movie. There can only be so many hats.
I know, but like, it bordered on cartoonish with Try. Like, it was stupid. It made no sense, and I think everyone kind of loved it. Where it was just like, anytime he would vanish and they were not in the digital world, he would just reappear with a different hat. And I just
like that they kept it going with the getting even more stupid hats in the promo images.
Yeah.
And the animedias and stuff.
Yeah. Which the amount of media coverage has been all kind of overwhelming, I think. Like, they've
Well, it's not overwhelming if you ignore it. That's my trick.
But yeah, so tons of the Animedia art with the ramen everyone seemed to like.
Oh, that was so one. That was lovely.
Yeah,
That's the one that makes me wish this was more of an extended project because I want more of these kinds of
yeah,
images. Like I want more animedias with stuff like
yeah.
that.
And then and this is where Onke needs much more credit than I can offer. I showed her, it was like a photo of the Animage article. I said, "Is there anything worth here making out?" And she goes, "What magazine is it?" I said, "Animage." And then she goes, "Okay, I bought it." And then then a day or two later, it was just everything translated from it. Like,
Did she really translate the entire novel already?
yes.
Jeez.
But yeah, she's gone full bore lately. Like, psych.
Everyone go buy her a coffee or something.
Buy her many.
Seriously.
She might. Maybe it should be like vodka at this point.
Well, I meant coffee both in the liquid sense and
Yeah,
in the online
yeah.
sense.
And then the on. I still like, not from the crowdfunding screening, but the first early screening where they have the giant logo that they put be in the audience for the promo shots.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the one where Sakamoto, Hanai, the director, were there. Matsumoto. They brought out the Agumon and the Gabumon suits, trying to hold on
Mm-hmm.
to uh, promo placards, and they brought out like this giant fucking sign of the logo.
Mm-hmm.
Like they built like a. It's just fucking cartoonish.
It's like a soccer tifo or
No,
something.
I know, but it's kind of amazing that like they dragged it into a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and for every time I see the Agumon suit, I just smile because he's so desperately trying to hold on to that thing. And then no one kind of talked about, just because there wasn't much to talk about minus the music preview. AIM was on Masako Nozawa's radio show, which I kind of hope we find recording to see if Tamers came up at all.
Hmm.
Um, the new type art, I think, is some of the better art we've seen. Although the adventure Taichi no Agumon looks slightly off.
Yeah, a little. Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, because I
Yeah, I
think
just looked at that.
because I think
Yeah,
that
adventure. They look a little squished.
yeah. Um, and it's just the promotion stuff has just been crazy in general. But moving on to something slightly more interesting, the theater gifts feels like one of those times where everyone saw it and everyone's like, okay, these are like perfect. They're clear files of all 12 kids in Digimon being done over the 3 weeks with new artwork. They show the crest symbols. Ken really does look goofy now that he doesn't have his design that was designed to be a bad guy. Like,
It's in that weird Koichi thing. It's like, yep, it's just Ken.
yeah. And Vmon and Daisuke are exactly Vmon and Daisuke.
Oh yeah, yeah. My only complaint about those is that other than the overall the actual kids, adults, the designs of them are great. Same with the Digimon. The overall design outside of them seems a bit sparse, but
See,
that's my only quibble with them because I'm used to clear files that have a lot more
see,
involvement and use up the space a lot more.
See, I kind of like it because it feels like they're using that look Try had, but instead they're using the logo elements from the movie. Like they're
Hmm.
using their custom version of the Kizuna symbol all over the
Yeah.
place. They're odd. And this is something that we found weird when they did Try. They're using the English logo font. It's just harder to recognize because it's straight. But yeah,
Yeah.
the art's fantastic. I kind of want them. The problem, and I think we kind of have discussed this, there's literally so much stuff, it's almost become easy to just go, I'm not dealing with any of this.
Oh, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Also because I have enough Digimon
Yeah.
clear files. I don't need more.
The new CDs came out. Um, okay, the weirdest thing about these, we all kind of went, okay, they're hiding the last cover because it's going to show the new Digimon, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
There is no reason for it's silhouettes again. I mean,
Yeah, it's even more
yeah,
silhouetted than the original
yeah.
trailer was of him.
I mean, to be clear, I like the cover. The cover works great. It does not make sense that they hit it. It just doesn't. And all of the what's the store chain called? I always forget the name of it. Animate. All those stores put up crazy displays for the movie. Like they were hanging up custom signs and everything. I don't know. I just like it. The weirdest one was where they clearly are using Tai Chi from the new show because someone just found the art, probably. They put up the music video for the end theme from AIM, which was nice.
Yeah, it sounds like a typical AIM song,
Well,
which
that's the
isn't entirely. It's not that's not entirely a positive thing, but at the same time, I can't wait for it to kick my ass at the end of Kizuna.
no, you're
Like
right.
it doesn't really do anything for me now. I guarantee you, by the end of the movie, it'll just be
But
in my head.
Here's the weird thing, and I've seen a number of people. It actually sounds more like old AIM than like she did in, like, let's say, Try.
Like Ikotoba and yeah.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah.
it is very much her
It
old
does.
style.
It's very classic AIM.
Yeah, and yeah, and the wild twist, which was a few days before the movie came out, they announced a new Try CD. I mean, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's called Best Hit Parade. That's old school.
They brought back. Now here's the thing: they did it for Adventure, they did it for O2, and they did it for Frontier. Tamers didn't get Best Hit Parade, did it?
Oh, did it?
I don't think it did. I tried. I assumed I was wrong, and I tried looking, and I didn't find it. Yeah, and all 4 of the new CDs charted. I still like the new Merciful Mode art for that CD, to be honest.
Yeah, the font is kind of average. The font makes it look like somebody made a cover for a Burn CD.
I almost see what they should have gone back to what they did before, which is use the English Try font, the straight version of it, and just lay it out the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have worked, I think.
Looking at the various albums I have on my computer, I did find a Tamer's single Best Parade.
Yeah.
That has all the singles on it. So they must have come out with something.
Oh no, there are things. It's just not that name. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
single Best Parade and Best Hit Parade. That's a little. It's the same idea.
It's the same idea though. And now on to the wave of unending stuff they've thrown at us. So first up, AR, you proudly went to Hot Topic.
I did not proudly go to Hot Topic.
Yes, you did.
I bought it on the internet.
It's the same thing functionally. You proudly purchased from Hot Topic, diving through messes of Power Rangers and Invader Zim merchandise to get.
No, I followed the link that was shared on the internet straight to the website, and I bought it.
Bravely going through pop figures to get.
I didn't do that, although I did add an Animal Crossing t-shirt to the order.
Yeah, see?
That's the only thing.
Bravely.
That's the only waiting I did.
Bravely coming out with the Animal Crossing shirt and water bottle with 20-year-old generic artwork for $15. How is that water bottle, AR?
It's actually pretty good. I used it all weekend. It was solid.
Was it
happy for my generic artwork?
Was it worth the $15? I have to ask.
Yeah, sure.
We bravely move on from Hot Topic to more Okay, so here's the dumb thing. I was gonna segue to the next product. I'm like, honestly, the document case and lamps look like they could be at Hot Topic. Don't they?
A little bit, yeah. The document cases. Definitely.
So the document.
The lamps are kind of. I've never seen that kind of.
No,
it's a weird thing, but it's.
Yeah. Okay, so the document case is just like a.
Yeah.
Not a briefcase. It's like a
clever. It's a folder. It's
Yeah, I can't I
like a,
can't
a hook and loop folder.
yeah, I can't remember what the damn name is, but yeah, so it holds stuff. It looks
I
like
should know the damn name folder. I work in office supplies.
yeah.
It's in a, like it's. I don't even know if it's
Oh
an
my! Oh no!
expandable folder. It's like a file
AR.
jacket or
Did
something.
did shopping at Hot Topic fry your brain? Medic. Medic. Okay. So
It's the weekend and I don't have to think about office
yeah.
supplies.
So it like, and this goes back to the Rainy Days artwork still, because that is Rainy Days Koshiro.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's about $35 before dealing with an intermediary. That's not bad, minus having to deal with the intermediary, to be honest.
I mean, for a folder, I can tell you that's expensive for a folder.
Oh
But the
no, no,
design's
no, no,
cute.
no. I'm saying it's expensive, but I'm saying the price that we pay to buy generic fan shit. That's not
Oh
bad.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I
Compared
meant.
to other generic fan shit, I suppose it's reasonable.
Like lamps?
Like lamps.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. These are dumb, but I actually kind of like them. And the prices are, it's about $32, so it's not bad. Where it's just like
Yeah,
the
I think
lights
these
are
are
behind.
very reasonable.
Yeah.
I think these are more reasonably priced than the cases,
Oh, no,
honestly.
I agree there. I kind of hope someone imports these so we can see them in like photos just to see what they look like.
I know.
But yeah,
These have me curious.
now the weird thing is less so with Gabumon, but with Agumon, does it look like the silhouette for the Kizuna one instead of Adventure?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Like, and yes, it's functionally the same art, but the lines feel a bit more smoothed out, and that could just be for the lamp.
Maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of want to see those. They're interesting. And then the Wormmon plush went up. It feels like a lot of people maybe didn't order it, but are thinking of it. Especially when we
I
found,
think,
especially when we found out the head pivots.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know. I don't know why
part
I'm.
of it is that I honestly balked at the price tag on
Oh
this
no,
one.
I was literally like, it's gonna go up. It's gonna be 50 or 60 or maybe even overpriced at 70, and I might still get it. And then I saw it's like $100. And it's like, hell no.
Yeah.
Like if it
Yeah,
were,
I saw. It's like, okay, this is something I could really get interested in. And then I saw the 11,000 yen.
yeah, if it had gone down to 50, 60, or even 70, we both probably would have bought it.
Mm-hmm. And there's no guarantee, that if I see the convention, I won't end up getting
No,
it.
exactly. The problem is it's 100. You have to deal with an intermediary because I don't believe it has not shown up at Crunchyroll, which is one of the few places that stocks this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to double check just because I kind of do want it, so it's almost worth going to look. Wormmon.
Wormmon. I mean, there's other smaller Wormmon.
Yeah, it is not.
Right now,
yeah,
so.
but this one's really nice.
This is the nice one.
Yeah. But yeah, and the problem is after intermediaries and everything, it's gonna be 150, 160, and shipping I may be underestimating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's nice. The Shikishi is interesting because we've seen it before, but it's not the same one. It's like they traced the hand drawn one, which they gave away. And in a few like where they put the Wormmon text and everything, it feels a little bit weird, but it's still nice. The Wave 2 V pets are up for pre-order, and we know the actual egg formation this time, which makes it. Last time we didn't get it until it was actually until the they came out and we had them in hand, I think. Yeah, that's weird now that I think about it. Like, we're actually getting answers to stuff, which we did not before, so it's a bit weird. The Metal Grumon model. Okay, this one's weird. The model kit's up for pre-order, and we have nice renders, but they haven't actually shown it to us yet. It's just renders. Last time we got we saw them all before we saw anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's time for the dumbest product yet. Are you ready? They're making orange flavored Crest of Courage gummy candy, and including stickers. Hooray!
That's what I want to import.
Yeah. Um, Now, here's the one thing I think everyone kind of does want to import is the super metallic posters.
Yeah, I get the appeal of them. They look great. I wish they were. I mean, I know they'd have to be more expensive, but I wish they were
Larger,
bigger.
yeah.
Like A5 doesn't do much
Yeah,
for me.
it's basically a half sheet of paper.
Yeah,
And yeah, I would like them, but here's the thing: in the sense of it's basically $1.50.
yeah. I mean,
That's
they're
kind
very
of
cheap.
neat.
I mean, they had then have to get
No,
the
yeah,
importing involved. But
I would hope that we will see these at Premium Bandai or something down the line as just like huge one sheets.
yes, that would be great.
Like, here's the thing:
Like if you could get like bigger versions of these, that
here's
would
the thing:
be
if it
wonderful.
was a set of 4 of these as not necessarily full posters, but like reasonably sized, I'd pay $20-$30 for that.
That's reasonable for
Yeah.
that kind of art. And
Now, here's the thing:
and if they keep the metallic effect, then
yeah.
absolutely.
Now, after intermediaries, that's gonna be 50 or 60.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if they're nice enough and they do it, and I could get them, I very well might. Because the other thing is it's the dynamic composition. Because like, here's the thing: it's part of the reason why we all like the Battle Spirits art. The profile art's very nice, but it can be a little bland because it's mostly meant for keeping track of the character. It's part of why like walking through Artist Alley can be nice because it's art for art's sake isn't quite the right framing, but it's meant to look dynamic and nice.
Yeah.
And these have that look to it, like the Weregurumon one. We do not generally get him looking that energetic.
That's a good parallel, is that this is Artist Alley type art, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Sadly, I didn't see much Artist Alley Digimon content. I did buy a very nice sticker of Kumatora from Mother 3, though.
And then we get, and this one's less exciting because we knew about it, the CSA Digivice Last Evolution. There's no real surprise for this one, oddly. Like, minus that it comes with the 0.0 promo card deck.
Oh.
Yeah. Everything else we kind of knew about it. I kind of wish they would just like call it the Gold Digivice or whatever, just so that it has a name. Because if you say
Last Evolution Digivice, you might get confused with the smartphone cases.
But they've never really done that. Like, for example, the activated Digivices. We don't actually have a name for those. We've just decided.
Yeah.
Which, oddly, the one from the end of Tripart 6 we do have a name for. The packaging is nice. A few people have complained that at first it's hard to tell what it is you're looking at. And May's going to be upset she's not here to comment on that because she's one of the people who said it. And then a bit of Kizuna product. First up, just a mess of products they announced like about 2 weeks ago. Nice artwork. The monochrome keychain things I like, but I feel like at times the colors don't pop enough. Like, they have a nice look. The crest badges may be the dumbest thing, to be honest.
You never go wrong with crest badges. They're consistently.
To be fair, though, the better badges are the ones using that animate artwork.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then we get the weird little... Calling them pseudo SD doesn't quite work, but the artwork of the Digimon in the acrylic clings to, like, it feels like they've all been drawn slightly super deformed, but enough that if you don't look for it, you can't tell.
And they're very cute.
And Tentomon is the best.
That is a good Tentomon, yeah.
Although, to be fair, the Hawkmon's very good also.
Yeah.
And then they announced, and they only announced this like a day or two ago, the artwork from all the CD covers is getting acrylic stands, badges, mugs, that sort of thing. The stands, I actually really like these ones. Which is funny because we were both kind of blah on the CD covers for the for the end credits, but seeing them all like not as an album cover works.
Yeah.
At May again is going to be sad she's not here because she could have made a Miyako's ass joke. Poor May. I will say this: the mug they probably should have gone without the Koji Wada text because it feels very odd.
Mm.
Because and like I don't believe that's meant to be a signature. I think it's just the style, but it feels weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. And hey, look what they announced! It's the Ultimate Image figures aren't done, and we got to see Kenji Watanabe artwork of the new Digimon, and they actually look really good here.
Yeah, they look good in this. They look really good in this.
Yeah. Like this is where the like his
That's his style
yeah,
really coming through.
like you can really tell that like he's really going full bore when, for lack of a better term, it feels like they should be from a Marvel or DC comic.
Well, it's sort of like you watch it in the you see them how they're introduced in the advertise in the trailer, and you're kind of put off by it. Then you look at them in this and go, oh, okay.
Yeah. Did you cut out there, AR, or did you just stop talking?
That's all I had.
Okay. So yeah, we're getting figures of both of them. They haven't quite said it, but it's gonna be this artwork. I don't think there's any doubt there. And they even mentioned a bit about part of the goal is just to have figures of them reasonably quickly. And I don't know. I feel like I'm probably going to import these as long as they're not Wormmon priced. I don't know what limit that is at this point, but I'm looking forward to it.
Is Wormmon price our new go-to for our upper limit?
Well, it's that it. Like, here's the thing. I've spent more than that on Digimon stuff.
Sure.
But it's a matter of what it is and the expect. Like if I import a Japanese Blu-ray and it's $100, I know that's what that price is going to be. And it's not like when the Frontier box shows up for $450. That's not a surprise. That's what we expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was not expecting Wormmon to be a $100 plushie because we got a Modimon last year, which was $50 or whatever, and it was from the same line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Higher evolution level just costs more.
Yeah, like if this was, I don't know. If it was $100 for both, I'd probably jump on that. I don't know what to expect here though. Because like I got the Merciful Mode one, I did not get the Omegamon X one. But we'll see. The art does look so nice. It's hard to comment on the potential figures when the art just looks so nice.
Yeah. You got to see the mock-ups and prototypes.
Don't worry though, we have more artwork. We have all the new Battle Spirit cards from the set.
Yeah, here we go for good artwork.
Yes, and again, the two new Digimon look great. See, we both got stuck looking at artwork.
The only thing is when you look at the artwork for all these and then go, it's like, and then there's the humans. That just they look really ordinary by comparison.
Well, it's one of those things where the idea makes sense. It's like, for the kids, we're going to use brand new show style artwork. The problem is that every single Digimon has like the fanciest painting possible.
Yeah. Like all the new Digimon look fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's just Kizuna, Taichi, and Yamato and Ken and Daisuke.
Yeah, and even a few unexpected appearances like May Crackmon Vicious Mode, which great evil smile in that image.
It is really.
Yeah, or Diablo. They've done a lot of cards of him, haven't they?
There's a lot of potential for getting good angles for him. There's not too many bad angles of Diablomon, as long as there isn't a Caramon kibble.
And the one thing that a number of people have noticed, that if you look at the adult levels, most or all of them are basically drawn shots from the opening.
Oh yeah.
which is interesting.
Yeah, I see that.
Now, there's a bunch of reprint cards. At this point, we're assuming they don't have new art since they haven't shown it to us. We haven't seen the campaign cards either, so it's possible there'll be more. Um, hopefully, they are the nice drawn cards and not the we did new quick movie artwork and then put them on a generic background. Because that's the problem is that is nice art. It just does not fit in with the theme.
Yeah.
And then yet more cards. The Digimon card game comes soon.
I'm
And
glad to have good art too.
yeah. So they've been
I'm
putting
glad
it.
it's different art.
No, well, that's the weird thing is I'm not sure it is because a lot of the artists are the same. I think it's just that there's a much bigger focus on the ongoing game, so we're getting a lot of child forms, which are just less. I don't want to say less dynamic because that's not fair.
Yeah.
But like we're not seeing the crazy stuff yet.
It's not as actiony.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sort of them wandering around and being their fun little selves.
Yeah, so
and they'll get serious when they evolve.
Pre-orders are up for the 3 starters, which very cheap to game in people basically. The first booster set. They put up a YouTube promo showing how the card game works. Toya has been very interested in this one, even like as much as he loves cards.
Somebody at the panel actually asked about the card game and what they were doing with that.
Yeah.
So there's some buzz.
Yeah, so we'll see. He started actually doing posts on With the Will, going over all the card details, and he just put the first few up last night. So that will be archived, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes, especially since it'll be interesting to see because there's a lot of show stuff that we don't have answers for right now.
Right.
Like if you look at the logo, ignoring that the big part of the logo is in English, the font feels very much English market logo for the franchise. So we will see. And look, Survive has not been canceled yet.
Keep coming out with new characters to kill.
Yeah, to be fair though, the drip feed is starting to get like annoying as far as wanting to talk about it because
it makes it difficult to talk about it because you've got all they keep doing singular characters at a time when really the whole the game is going to be judged by how well all of them coalesce.
It's not just that, it's how they're doing it. It's okay, they give us a bit of details in V-Jump, and then 2 weeks later, the same thing shows up in Famitsu, and then a week and a half later, the same thing goes up on the website. And each time it's slightly modified.
Oh. Well, that's your problem.
Yeah. But it also makes it hard to discuss because it feels like we're getting material very hack and slash. And then Habu was commenting on the digital world and Watanabe jumped in.
That's a weird chat. Like, there's a lot of interesting things to talk about in that. Not that I think this is one of those where everyone should just sort of read it and draw their own conclusions.
They should. I will comment on 2 things, though. The first is it kind of makes me go, it's a bit odd that Habu's looking through digital world stuff now when the game has seemingly been in production for years and probably should have lockdown story stuff. I'm
sure. I feel like it does. Like this is probably. I wonder if this might be more for story potentially.
Maybe, and it's also possible he just stumbled across stuff he was. And also, if we were to take the claims of people who complain, neither of them are good at working on Digimon because they don't know everything.
How do they not know about Witchelny?
Yeah, well, the better part was finding out Watanabe didn't know about Witchelny because that's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a lot of very strong opinions in the fandom about Witchelny.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that you've got Habu and Watanabe talking about Witchelny.
Yeah,
that's sort of once you get into having a strong opinion about Witchelny, that's when you know you've gotten too far into the Digimon.
Yeah. Well, the funny part is even though they talk about a decent amount, neither of them feel like they have a strong opinion on it.
I know, that's why it's cute.
I know, it was just a matter of fact. It was matter of fact to the point like Kabu's like, oh no, it's definitely a digital world at this point, and he links the profile. Watanabe is like, oh, I wasn't there at the time, I had no idea.
It's sort of like when there were times when Kakudo would tweet something about, oh wait, the US version did this, or they did this in Hunters, or
Yeah.
some
Well,
random thing he just discovered randomly
well,
and decided to tweet about.
that is the weird thing about, and we've brought it up before with Kakudo's. Most of the time, despite people making shit up in his name, he very rarely comments in a way that is saying one way or the other if he likes something. It's
Yeah,
the
oh no, it's not
it
not necessarily that he's dismissive of it or he's just sort of surprised. That's interesting.
yes, or like whenever someone tries to ask him about Ryu or Wallace, it's just like
Oh yeah.
that doesn't really have to do with my stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, we got the Agumon goggle render from the last evolution event is just fun looking, and renders of the new Digimon, which they look great for the game too, to be honest.
Oh, about
Yeah, for
which
the
are you in
for
Shuji or
no Agumon and Gabumon, the new forms.
oh
And
yeah. In Re-Rise, you mean?
yeah, yes,
Yeah, that's another one where they look really good.
yeah. And like you said, we have the new characters for Survive, which
Mm-hmm. Just the fact that they put Iori with a Dracmon.
so
That's
so
I'm in.
so honest. Have you read the profiles for characters?
I've read I read Shuji and Dracmon, yeah.
Okay.
I read the character profile. Or I'm sorry, yeah, Shuji and Dracmon.
Does it feel like character profiles are starting to trip over each other?
That's the thing, is you start to forget about who they are. Which I don't mind actually.
No. But that's what I mean. Like if you look at like Shuji's description, and then you look at the description for Kaito, it feels like we're starting to get descriptions that are tripping over each other and what the characters in theory are based on what we know. Where it feels like like functionally, aren't these roughly the same character?
It might be.
So I'm curious.
I find different things to appreciate with each of them, with Shuji and Kaito.
I agree, but I mean in the sense of, oh, they're pseudo natural leader types. It's like it feels like stuff's starting to trip.
Oh,
over
I didn't get that impression with Kaito at all. I read Kaito's and I'm like, okay, that's.
You cut out right at the end with whatever you're saying.
Oh, I was like with Kaito, like I didn't get a leader impression with him. I was just like, yeah, that's Iori.
You got Iori from him?
Kaito, yeah, totally. Has a high sense of justice and hates corrupt things, but is quick to fight. Yeah.
See, for some reason, I read it more like he was like the heroic leader type.
Yeah, no.
No, you may be right. You may be right. I may just be reading into details that aren't there. I'm distracted.
Shuji comes across as kind of. Shuji is interesting to me because it could go in a couple different directions where he could be kind of have this really dark side to him, or he could just end up being Joe.
Yeah. And then the most important thing to talk about, how cute is that Lopmon?
That's a cute Lopmon.
Lopmon.
It's hard to go wrong with Lopmon. Lopmon is usually...
And that's the funny part is we've been getting a lot of Lopmon later. We got the giant fucking plush that everyone wants. Lopmon's in Re-Rise. This will be back to Survive. It feels like the people who are really excited for Survive are starting to hit the point of like actual frustration with not getting stuff.
Yeah, you just got to get over this Kizuna wall.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and they're not going to. Kizuna is basically the crushing wave that will kill everything underneath it.
Yeah.
You do not want Survive announcements now.
Mm-hmm.
But there will be more, and it can't be that much longer because they're running out of characters.
That said, next month might be heavy on the reboot.
Yeah. To be fair, that could be a good time for Survive, though. Just literally launch it as Adventure Extreme, /
Yeah. But that's something, but going back to your point about all the different profiles kind of meant together, I think that's where you can't really judge them based on the profile. You can have an initial impression of them.
No, you're right.
one of the benefits to having this slow drip is eventually when the game actually comes out, you'll kind of forget about all of the little details you heard in advance, and you can kind of just appreciate them all when the game comes out with a blank slate.
Yeah. But it does make it hard for people who are excited about it now.
It does.
Yeah.
But, if you're excited about it now, you will be excited about it by the time the game comes out, and that's what really matters.
Yeah. So basically just look forward to it, and hey, it could be worse. It could be when they were doing the silence last year.
Yeah.
Moving on from that. Hey, it's been a few more weeks of the lead up, and I'm actually relatively pleased with these choices this time, to be honest. Now, did you ever watch Ronin Warriors?
I checked out a couple of Ronin Warriors, and back in the day, it did not get to me that much. I didn't really latch onto it, sadly.
It doesn't completely surprise me because it's effectively slightly more interesting looking Saint Seiya, which has just never really worked here at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was never a big Saint Seiya fan.
They desperately want it to work here. They're not only doing the CGI Toei one, they took the original one and they're redubbing it in English again. This will be like the third or fourth time they're dubbing the show into English.
Stop trying to make Ronin Warriors happen.
No, Saint Seiya.
Oh, Saint Seiya. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And then Gundam NT, which I just like it as a choice because it is literally, hey, time has passed since Gundam Unicorn and it's a movie. That seems slightly familiar, doesn't it? Interviews with Monster Girls. I don't know. I just thought it was a cute show. I'm guessing you haven't watched it.
No, not really.
And then I went last with the movie duo that sort of seems Digimon-ish, the Dragon Quest movie, which I liked, but man, that was not the right Dragon Quest to make into a movie. And like anyone who thinks anyone goes, well, that Digimon thing's compressed, should play Dragon Quest V and then watch the movie, and because that was maybe the densest Dragon Quest story-wise, and there are no Dragon Quest games with a thin story.
Oh.
So basically, imagine the densest JRPG you can imagine, like to the point that part of the game is you as a kid, part of the game is you as an adult, part of the game is you as a father, and put that into a 100-minute movie.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
The first part of the story is literally just the game graphics with narration on screen. And then the Ni no Kuni movie, which is original and works well enough.
Cool.
And then
are you going to keep doing this up to March, or is this it?
I feel like at this point, I might as well do it probably until Adventure starts.
No, okay.
Because the thing is
there you go.
Because the thing is, I've been doing it for half a year. We have stuff for another month, and then a few weeks after that. I might as well just keep going.
Because when you think about it, this weekend for Western audiences doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Yeah, it means something thematically. In reality, it means jack.
Like we've been stressing very hard about how something we can watch on opening weekend. Yet everyone's calendars still seem to be focused on this date.
To the point that how many people have you seen like desperately trying to figure out how to watch it? And it's like no,
right.
It's like
right, no.
There's a reason why we've been not only on the show but even on Twitter where we've been super clear. Do not expect you will get to see this day one unless you are in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just stuff like this is, stuff like, the fact that we made sure we put the podcast today, and even, with the Kizuna countdown that we've been doing on Twitter and Tumblr, which I highly recommend people check out some of the entries that have been written for that. But, that was sent on today.
Absolutely. Well, because here's the thing. One, our current podcast schedule would have laid out for today or next week anyways.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It makes sense to do it today because we knew there was going to be a ton of stuff. And frankly, there is we can always say it's not going to. Don't base your day around thinking you'll get to see it. Mm-hmm. But there's also
I did not take off work yesterday.
No, absolutely not. But we do also have to plan for the thing out of left field that could happen.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's
So
like it just suddenly shows up on Netflix.
no, see, that's the thing is it's not going to happen. But we do a show where that is a focus of it, so we need to be prepared, even if
Yeah.
yeah. Like here's the thing: if we really thought it was going to show up yesterday, although I guess it would have been Thursday night at that point.
Possibly.
If we thought that was going to happen, we would have done a show last Sunday or Monday to burn through content ahead of time.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So
That's true.
moving on
and
to
I would have been in a convention and would have been really screwed.
social media art. They've done a bunch of these lately. That
I missed one of these.
Okay,
I saw two of them, and
so we have
I saw three of them and missed one
the
completely.
the snow festival one's just fun where you
that was the one I missed. I did not see that at all, and I'm like baffled at how I missed that. It's so cute.
The little Tokemon's great. The Valentine's Day one is fun also.
Yes.
Then the southwest good luck direction thing probably means less to most of us outside of Japan who aren't familiar with it.
Yeah.
And the best one, Agumon and Vmon watching the movie. Both are crying, but Agumon is still eating and drinking, and his nose is dripping.
Of course.
and of course, his popcorn bucket's almost empty while Vmon's is full. Which is funny because Vmon's thing was eating.
Vmon's an eater too.
Yeah.
Like maybe not as to the extent Agumon
now,
is. But...
pick your favorite of these four.
I probably it's between the Snow Festival and the movie one.
I would pick the movie, but I probably like the Snow Festival one better. But it's like we have Agumon, we have Vmon. It's relevant to us. So
it's one of those where you look at it and go, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. And now we get to talk about the best art. It's the art they did for the animate stuff. Yeah,
this is just the coloring is so strong on this.
Yeah, we got super clean versions of each one. And of course, we even mentioned earlier they've started doing products with these. And then theaters announced that they were doing concession bundles for food drink combos, and you'd get mini shikishis of the art. But Taichi Yamado's is new. It's not the same one we saw before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like all of these. I didn't like at 2:30 in the morning editing this to put them on, but
well, that was a nice. I can just have to retweet those or I think I saw that early in the morning, but yeah. That was very pretty.
Art all looks great. I love that we got the nice, big, high resolution, clean ones. Because the first image we had was the Shikishi one where they're all layered on top of each other.
All of them on the one,
But also the line work was really iffy on that image. It was really like not scaled well. Mm-hmm. And the art and collaboration continues with, hey, look, it's fucking Hello Kitty.
It begins.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. 2 weeks ago, we didn't know this fucking existed.
2 weeks? I thought it was longer than that.
It's maybe.
I thought I saw an announcement about that earlier.
It might be 3 weeks at this. It was January 30th, so 3 weeks. Yeah, it was literally just like middle of the night, Hello Kitty, and producer Konoshita standing on stage with Hello Kitty and Agumon, and they show us not one but two batches of art with completely different concepts and art styles. We get previews of the products. The store, the first one's open, and the online one's gonna bankrupt some people. Because here's the thing: a lot of stuff with the pop-up store, you either find someone who's going there to buy stuff, and that's it. They've put everything online day one, so you can easily go to an intermediary and go, "I want this, 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 this," and here's my wallet. And there's two different themes of art, and I'm buying none of this because that's a hole I wouldn't get out of.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the Miku stuff is back. See, the problem is I'm just scrolling through looking at everything now. Pick one product to talk about, AR.
Oh, jeez.
Aha, pick one.
Oh, the thing is I haven't even looked did a lot of this stuff before.
Are you telling me you have not looked at Hello Kitty? How dare you, sir?
No.
Fine, talk about the denim jean badges, which I don't know why the hell those exist.
Denim jean badges?
The badges where they do the Hello Kitty crest and they've for some reason designed them to look like denim. That's the weird one. I will talk about something while AR continues to look through.
No, this is all. I'm not going to be able to find just one product, so just move on.
How dare you not look at the denim jean badges?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Everyone shame AR. Shame him. Fine, I'm sending you the picture.
Oh, I found him.
Yeah. Like they've...
I didn't even look at the denim part of it. I was just looking at the cute little crests with the Hello Kitty characters embedded into them.
Yeah. Do you like the Hello Kitty art better, or just the Sanrio style version of the adventure characters?
It's the Hello Kitty art I like better.
I
think that's.
I've jumped back and forth. I think the Hello Kitty art is more interesting. I'm not sure I like it better because some of them like the Gomamon weirds me out.
Well, yeah, Gomamon's a weird one, but the others are all pretty cute. Yeah. I think the Tailmon one's probably my favorite.
Moving on to the next one is the Anion Station cafes have opened, and the key art here took everyone by surprise in a positive way.
Oh yeah,
it's the adventure art, and the Digimon are all wearing the kids' clothing, and this time it's a hat instead of a helmet, because that changes as it does.
Of course. I mean, it kind of has to be a hat with her hair.
Yeah. Ayushi went to this and she had fun. The drinks, again, this happens every time. Can they stop with the Mimi drinks that are pasty green? It kind of makes me sick.
Yeah, if they had known this, maybe back in 1999 when they were planning this, they might not have given Mimi a green color.
No, it's fine, but you could go with a neon green drink or something. Can they stop with the pasty, milky green that has kind of a weird look to it?
I think neon green would look even weirder, to be honest.
But here's the thing.
Green is about it's.
But here's the thing. Look at the Yamato drink. That's neon blue.
Neon blue is a much more appetizing color than neon green.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I will say I love the ice cream Tentomon thing.
Oh yeah.
The food exists. The products are nice. The teaser art for the O2 version's neat.
When is that coming?
March 6th. So we
6th. Okay.
So I would guess they'll probably announce it within the next week.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
The one everyone's looking forward to is the one that I don't remember the person's name, but they actually sketched out what they think it is the Patamon one. Because
because the Patamon's wearing a hat?
Yeah, because it looks like he's wearing Takaru's old hat. But the problem is looking at the picture, it does not come across that way. It just looks like something's wrong with Patamon.
Right. Well, if he's wearing Takaru's old hat, there's something wrong with him.
To be fair, at least it looks like a proper hat, unlike Piyomon wearing Sora's and stretching it out and everything.
Yeah, that one looked so weird.
Yeah. And then we're doing a giveaway with Shonen.
The other thing I point out with that image, it looks like Tailmon might be wearing the camera, maybe.
Well, now I have to put that card back up so we can take a look.
Oh.
Oh yeah, with the silhouettes, it's harder to tell with the silhouettes.
It's hard to tell what it is, but she's wearing something.
Yeah, I'm jumping.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's probably the whistle.
The whistle would be a weird thing, but I mean, the whistle would make. It doesn't make sense, but it's probably.
Yeah, and then the acrylic stands we're giving away with Shonen pickups, and that's through Monday. And yeah, that one you guys can read about.
Yeah,
a few people have said, "How did that come together?" And it's simple. They messaged me going, "Do you want to give stuff away?" we came to terms reasonably quickly because there was nothing unreasonable about it, which was basically just, hey, tweet it out and retweet it every once in a while. Makes sense to me. Yeah. So enter it, win free stuff. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that
I didn't retweet that because I should probably stay out of it.
Basically, what it is I'm going to pull up the list of retweets. I'm going to figure out how many there are. I'm then going to do a random number generator.
Mm-hmm.
I will then count to whatever number it is. As long as that person's following both of us, as mentioned in the tweet, that person wins. Unless it is someone affiliated with me, wherein whether it's random or not, it does not appear to be random.
Yeah.
Like I believe I told Vandy that she was not eligible when she asked.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: even if it's random and 100 people watched me do it, if it were someone affiliated with me, it would not look random. So anyone who's affiliated with me, the site, etc., is not eligible.
That was so funny. There was some sort of a giveaway that to give away a copy of one of the Try movies with autographs from a couple of the voice actors. And I think May won. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, when was that?
Oh, that was a couple years ago.
Was that me or someone else?
No, it was not. It was not us. It was an official.
That's what I thought because I was sitting there going, I don't remember May winning a contest.
No, it wasn't. It was Shout Factory or something that did that. But I just thought it was really funny.
It was the one. It was Colleen O'Shaughnessy and Tara Sands were giving something out. Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Okay, then we have the Vanquish products, which we didn't know about this until it basically happened. This is like what's that one streetwear brand in New York that everyone likes?
What, like Times Square? Or?
No, it's that brand that just makes stuff constantly. It's basically just their logo and nothing else.
Oh, yeah.
It starts with an S. I don't remember the name. That's basically what the stuff is it's reasonably nice generic stuff with Digimon themes on it.
Mm-hmm.
And my understanding from people who've actually gone is it's selling out like crazy.
Wow.
I will give them credit for going slightly above the minimum and including Pump and Gatsu.
Yeah.
Because
it's a Shibuya thing, sure.
But that's what I mean. Stuff like this could get away with being lazy and it wouldn't matter. So I will actually have some appreciation for having them. See, if this stuff is just too much for me price-wise. I'm not interested in any of it. Like, some of the designs I actually like, but I'm not paying $100 for a random Digimon hoodie, period. Any weird overpriced crap there you want, AR?
Oh, no. I'm... and that's my answer for all of it.
Now, I will say, the Kittyland stuff looked like they did this a few times in Try. The Kittyland themes have been about dressing up, and this one's really weird and kind of cute, where they're just in like the egg-shaped plush lower level Digimon.
Yeah.
And they had the new plushies early. And Village Vanguard had the new plushies early. Village Vanguard's put up some nice displays for this stuff, I have to say.
Sure.
Have you seen the photos the various shops have been posting?
I think I've seen a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want the Tokumon and the Lopmon, to be honest.
Sure. I mean, I would go for some of the Tamers stuff. That's more if they show up in vendor rooms or something. I would dive on those in a second.
The small ones, I feel like they probably will because it's easy to just grab stacks of them.
I can just picture Wormmon especially being part of the collection in a year by the end of the year.
And then
if you're going to conventions, it's something to look for.
And they re-released all of Wave 1, including the plush tissue box holders, which every time I see the Togemon one, I laugh because it's like Togemon just vomiting out.
It's just... Yeah, it's inspired.
And another escape room, which is weird, was it's open at this point, but I don't think they've shown off the products yet. I think the products are coming later. And I feel like they did this before, where like the escape room opened, but the products weren't there yet. This seems oddly familiar. But we'll see. The karaoke is roughly what we expect. I have to admit, the karaoke art's really good, though.
Yeah.
I think it was to their advantage to stick with just 8 people.
Yeah. This is probably among my favorite art, I'd say, of all these little random collaboration things.
I think the high point here is probably Hikari and Miyako, though. Although I will say Iori looks much better than he has in a lot of the recent art.
Yeah, Miyako for sure.
Yeah.
Iori looks improved.
And
I like when they dress up. That's one of my.
Now the problem here is the Digimon are all dressed up also, but I can't tell what are. Oh wait, he has a bow tie. That seems slightly lazy.
Yeah, I mean,
and
this is one for when you like the art of the kids.
I will say that the hat with Vmon, that deserves an award. Where Vmon just has a hat and he looks happy, and the drinks here, they all look fine, but some of them are weird. Again, the Miyako drink just kind of makes me go, huh?
Yeah, it's just weird because the two kids haven't had enough drinks, so they can't get too desperate for finding new ideas. You can stick with the basics.
I would say the issue here is if you look at them, there is an argument to be made that these drinks probably could have been used for the 4 adventure kids they don't have. Because like the Ken one could be Mimi. I'm not going to go over each of them. No. I think some of these are multi-purpose drinks, or could have been. I kind of want the acrylic stands of these, but it falls into that pit of I kind of want everything, so it's easier to just not deal with it at all. And then the big one is the new limited base stores, which they're doing at the pop-up theater again. But they also announced they're doing it at both normal limited base stores. The artwork here is great. I love it. But again, Iori's not really. What is he doing?
He's just sort of hanging around in the back, leading.
That's
it's like.
Also,
he's not used to having to pose for pictures anymore.
I will say this: all the Digimon look great except one of them. Which do you think I'm talking about?
Oh, which one does not look great?
Yes, like look at each Digimon. There's nice detail, and then look at Armademon's face and his detailing.
I was gonna say Armademon looks kind of funky.
He looks
very squished.
Yeah. I'm looking at him now and he just looks weird to me. Doing this at all 3 shops at once is kind of impressive, actually. More so, did you see how they're handling the fact that 2 of them don't have theaters? It is both. It is both impressive and stupid. If your receipt's for 5,000 yen or more and you bring it to the pop-up theater, they will honor it. But it kind of makes me go, if they were going to the pop-up theater in the first place...
Yeah, why just... Yeah. Why go to the one that doesn't have the theater?
Yeah. We're not going to go over all the products. I will say the new bean bags, all 12 of those are just great. We have the 8 adventure kids from Kizuna, and then the 402 Digimon. See, Armademon looks good here. He has this nice. Oh, yeah. He has this nice.
He works kind of a beanbag for him.
I will say, Vmon, like I get what they did with like the split color. It kind of makes it look like he has like a weird mustache.
I didn't get that impression. Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah, everything's here. They're showing the second short, as we mentioned. They could have picked, these are the same 2 promo images they've used for a while. I like the first one. The second one, Agumon doesn't look quite right. It's like, Agumon, are you okay? He's kind of like flopping around. I like the dioramas. A lot of people seem really fucking excited for that backpack. Like I've seen a lot of people talking about wanting that thing. It's like $50 for a backpack seat was
Yeah, $50 for a backpack that I think looks pretty limited functionally.
yeah.
Like the backpack's one of those things where if I'm gonna get one, I want one that actually serves purposes.
Yeah.
And this is like you buy it just because it's Patamon.
And then and those various pop-up shops are going through April and March, depending on location. So if you're gonna be in Japan, that's one of the things you probably want to get to. And then we get the killer wave of collaborations, which, like, the collaboration and events towards the end, it kind of went insane.
Yeah. I thought it was insane way before the
Yeah.
end, but
So, but although me being stupid and actually reporting all of these, it every once in a while, like, stuff actually does lead to something, and it happened this time. They announced the Kichijoji Good Shop, which they kind of announced low key. They haven't even given us a product list. It's basically overstock and reprinting of old stuff from other places. Someone was in Japan and leaving in a few hours when I posted it. And they're like, I don't have time to go through the whole place. Do you know what floor it's on? I go, I think it's 4. And literally, as they're like on the plane out, they're like, I was able to get there and got a bunch of stuff.
oh jeez.
So that's actually kind of neat because I literally originally was not going to post. I was going to just wait a day or two and post it with whatever else came. And I'm like, it's kind of interesting. I might as well. Literally, someone was on their way out of the country and ran there. The Idolmaster Starlight Stage 1 started. People seem to be very happy.
I saw some clips of this. This looked cute.
Yeah, I don't think we expected Agumon and Taichi to show up in the game, which they did.
Yeah, they actually animated a little bit of a
thing for 'em. The article
really
has
nice.
The commercial.
Yeah.
It added various themes and other stuff, songs. It's interesting. It's not my thing, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
Various theaters showing the movie have done a collaboration drink, and 2 of them they did cafe with some items. I have to be honest, the French toast does not look very appealing to me. It looks like a big piece of garlic toast that they've thrown chocolate on.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Texas toast style stuff. But yeah, those are running, and they did so much. The Toei Museum did a bunch of displays for the franchise. And those theater standees have been showing up all over the place.
Yeah.
One of the more interesting ones, and this is another one that felt like everyone got taken by surprise, was the Old Music campaign. So because of all the events, they've been reprinting old Digimon CDs like crazy.
Yeah. So I think I saw a couple of these.
Yeah. So as the promotion for that, if you buy the older Digimon CD, you would get postcards with basically equivalent art from in the adventure style, the tri style, and the Kizuna style, which is
those are nice.
Yeah, I will say they could have done a bit more effort on the Digimon if they were going to include them, because the only change is how much of the donut Agumon has eaten.
I did not even notice that before. That's great.
That is literally the only change for the Digimon at all. And I like how they have the logo up in the corner and everything. But what's interesting is like, especially in the case of Tri, it looks like Koji Watanabe might have actually been the person who drew it. He was the animation director who did the final designs. Like, if it's not him, it really does look like his style.
Yeah.
It feels kind of mean to not include the Kizuna CDs, though. Like, I understand those are the new ones.
Yeah.
And then the weirdest collaboration was for the... I'm not even going to try to say it. It's just the Food Street. Food Street near one of the theaters is basically just a bunch of restaurants.
Hatsutenshin Urasando.
That thing. Basically just, like a gourmet street near one of the theaters, so it's having its anniversary. So basically, if you go to those places and bring the receipt to the theater, they give you a sticker of Agumon and Gabumon eating a bunch of junk. Although the full chicken turkey thing for some reason makes me laugh.
Of course.
Then the Tokyo Han store, their store chain has their own exclusive Kizuna merchandise. The art here is really nice.
Yeah, this is a cool style.
Um, did you see what they have in their stores? I've been retweeting. They have like 3-4 foot tall versions of these.
Oh man.
Like not to buy, but like in store displays.
Yeah,
With,
no, I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like of all the characters, like they're like 3 feet tall. The art's very nice. It's sort of like a pseudo SD, minimally colored style.
The minimalist is the way
It,
I describe it.
yeah,
It's cute.
yeah, it's neat. I will say the weird keychain acrylic stand is kind of fun looking. The way they've done that,
Yeah,
I
it is
kind of
really
like.
style for sure.
Yeah. That's going until March 22nd. They're doing that in 10 of their stores. I don't know. This is one of the weird ones where it feels like everything actually works really well. The weirdest thing.
The only thing I'm not sure about is the acrylic stands with the basic art in there. That I'm not sure why that's there.
I think because it hasn't shown up anywhere else yet, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that seems out of place.
I think the idea is they have their own stuff and then they filled it in with a few other things.
Yeah.
And the sweater. Although I guess that has their art, so it counts.
Yeah.
The Digimon kitchen car announced postcards being given away. Not much to talk about there. I just kind of like that because they keep giving us the memorial image artwork like in small squares and stuff. I kind of like to see the bigger versions of it. And the last of the mass of killer collaborations, the theaters showing the movie are selling a lot of things, including, it's hard to take credit for this one because literally everyone called that it would show up in some fashion. Phone cases.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, like that is the one item everyone expected, and there's no surprise at all.
Yeah.
The shot glasses are fun though. And also the
bracelets are nice.
Yeah, those were announced a bit earlier. Not my thing, but those people have been showing up with and those have been actually selling out at the theaters because I've been seeing photos. Yeah,
I don't blame them. That's a cool thing.
But for $55 though.
Not for me, but
yeah, it makes sense.
I can see someone getting into it.
And then not shown on the placards, but stuff that is in theaters. The new Digimon card premium editions, but they also said those would be at Premium Bandai. And again, we get to see art of the new Digimon, and it looks really nice here also.
Mm-hmm.
The funny part is I think in general, most people are happy with them in every art we've seen, except that commercial.
Yeah.
And then the interesting things they didn't announce was the smartphone case with the line art and the wireless charger, which a lot of people seem to want.
Yeah, that I can see. That's a nice ad.
Oh, and since it comes up on the charger, how nice has it been that they've been including the crest of kindness with all this crap?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
And of course, the center one on the wireless charger is Mimi, as it should be. The barbecue one was interesting at the Korean barbecue place. My one issue here is the Vmon art does not fit in with the others. There's not much to talk about this because, sticker giveaway. They have the Digimon menu, which comes across slightly odd.
Yeah.
And the last thing is the exclusive Lawson products, which again, great art. Like I really do like the art for the Lawson stuff. It's some of my top art, I think.
Yeah, this is another one where that's kind of the SD form.
Yeah.
It works really well.
I think it works best with the rubber charms, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then the last bit of product news we have, we get to see Metal Greymon in color. They really have gone to town on the color on this one.
Yeah, they really did.
Like
That
that's
looks nice.
yeah. One of the things they even talked about is how they were using different textured paints. Where like, if you look at the mouth, it almost looks wet. Well, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah,
Like
I know.
like it's not like the armor is not metal, but it looks metallic.
Mm-hmm.
The price is a bit high though. It's about 175. It's one of those where I'm like, I got Omegamon. I'm not sure I'm gonna get Metal Greymon. I'm tempted though. I'm tempted. And we've survived the news. So you guys think up questions. I should mention I did. There were other questions that were not included. A lot of them had to do with our thoughts on things from the movie, which it just makes more sense to do those later.
Oh
I
yeah.
yeah, I've held on to them though.
Well, like were they spoilery or?
Some were, others were still more about the movie itself,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels like most of those will be more beneficial to do a month from now.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about our expectations for the movie
Yeah,
already.
yeah. I think what happened was the type of thing where it was going, the movie's out this Friday, so they sent in questions related to that, but we can't really,
Oh
even
yeah,
if they're not spoilery, it's like,
they
what?
think that we're suddenly gonna go. Okay, we're gonna be open and give away everything now
Well,
that the movie's come out in a country that we're not in.
well, one of them was roughly, what do we think of the O2 kids being in the movie? We can't answer that, but we can't really answer it honestly because we don't know if they're in it enough that we'd be happy with it.
Right.
The,
I
the,
mean, we knew they were going to be in it for
yeah, it's what.
almost. I mean, honestly, we knew they were going to be in it when they didn't try.
Yeah, but
I wrote a big piece on that
yeah.
yesterday.
Oh no, I saw. But yeah,
Yeah.
but functionally, we can't. Even a question like that, we can only answer so much because we don't. For all we know, they're there for one fight scene and then they wander off.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, no, that's not quite it. But it's not. But it.
I mean, we've seen them in different spots.
Yes.
But only like 2 or 3 different spots, so that still doesn't really give us a good feel for what they're doing.
Yeah. So first question was, what is your favorite episode of Digimon? The person who sent this actually asked for each series, but that's a bit overboard.
I could give you each series if you really
wanted.
wanted
Oh no,
it,
I know, but that's something to do when we are more focused on
the thing about doing a blog on each episode is I have a
yeah.
episode.
Why don't you go first for your favorite episode?
So my favorite I still have a sentimental thing for episode 35 of Adventure, the Lilymon debut episode. Because that's the episode that convinced me that Digimon was actually worth watching. Up until that point, I was convinced that Digimon was complete crap. Then that episode happened, and I'm like, okay, this is something that has my attention now.
Isn't it possible? Isn't it possible that you were right both times?
Yeah, basically, because that having to. The problem with that, if it being episode 35, is I had to watch the first 34 episodes, and only like 3 of those are good. So that's the thing. The other ones I really like, as far as like on my short list of favorite episodes, episode 41 of Tamers, where they come back to the real world. Everything involved with that, I really appreciated, especially that train scene with Takato and Judy. It's like that's one of my favorite scenes in all of Digimon. And the episode 36 of Atmon with the idol results. That's also one of my favorite episodes, which I'm actually posting about this Monday.
That one works really well for her character growth.
Oh, it covers everything you love about Eri. It really covers everything you love about Atmon in general.
As for my favorite, I honestly don't know at the moment. I kind of waft back and forth just because, your mood can change how.
I said 3. Yeah. You can give a couple.
I mean, if you make me, I'll give lazy ones. Episode 21, which is in
Always,
it. Yeah, that's kind of it.
That's one of the 3 good episodes, or episode 35.
And then I don't remember the number, but when War Greymon and Metal Greymon first show up.
Okay, that's 39. 38 or 39, yeah.
And this one, I'm not going to say a specific episode, it's more the mood. I like when O2 did kind of these stupid wandering around episodes. When it was basically the characters need to do something, so it has them just walking around talking to each other.
Yeah, and any episode of 02 where the kids get to interact in a meaningful way. That's when 02's at its best.
See, here's where fan art has kind of ruined me mentally. I remember Miyako and Daisuke getting in those little slap fights, and I'm not convinced they ever fully did. I'm just convinced that
slap fights. No,
not literally, but I mean stuff like what's the piece of art where they're fighting over candy or something?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, we're like, that really does feel like it came right out of the show, even though I'm 99% sure it doesn't. Nothing like that happens in it. It fits the character's mood, so it works really well for me. So it's stuff like that where it's just the characters kind of fucking around.
Yeah. Slice of life with 02 characters would be
okay. Then there was, what was the story behind the site being down with the holding page for half a day late? Did we go over this? I thought we did.
I don't remember.
That was that for whatever reason the SSL certificate didn't get renewed, so then the host put it in a holding page, even though they were the ones who didn't renew it. So it was sort of like it just got kicked to a backup page while the certificate was down. And what happened was, I went to renew it when it stopped around maybe midnight. That's when the site was just not loading. I went and renewed the certificate manually, applied it, and somehow it didn't apply correctly on their end. So after an hour or two, it went to the holding page, and I was asleep. So once I woke up and was like, oh, it's still down, I was able to deal with that relatively quickly. See, did we not go over this then? I thought we did.
We might have. If you did, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. And then, oddly, the question that one of the ones, which was a composite from like 10 different people, 1 or 2 people have now asked in the chat, which is basically various home video weights. Japanese one, summer, feels reasonably realistic.
Yeah.
The US one could be anywhere from a month before the Japanese release to a year after the Japanese release.
I hope it's not a year after.
Well, it's how, like, here's the thing. There's no information about it, and many companies that are partners with Toei have been doing stuff. Like here's the thing. Like, one reason why people were kind of unwilling to listen to us was Crunchyroll put up a trailer for Kizuna on their YouTube.
Right, but they do that for all the movies.
Exactly.
For a lot of different anime movies.
And they are an important partner of Toei, so they are going to do stuff for them.
Sure.
The issue where people then start not thinking about it is when Shout did the same thing. Shout, again, important partner for Toei. They do a lot of their shows. They are, if you were to ask me who do I think would get it, I would guess them offhand, but we don't really have.
Yeah, that would be my first guess as well. But the other thing you have to consider is that you would assume that a home video release would have a dub. They have to make that.
Assuming they haven't.
Yeah, I think they haven't, which they might be in the middle of it, but I haven't heard anything,
So, but yeah, it could be anywhere from a month before the Japanese release to who knows when. Because, like, here's the thing. Part 6, we got like 3 months later. Part 1, we got like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of when.
That's your window. It's going to be 3 months to a year and a half.
No, but here's the thing. It could realistically be a month before the Japanese release. That has happened with Toei movies.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Which I suppose that could be a possibility considering this is just a one-day event.
Yeah. And Ramon asks, will there be final evolutions for other Digimon? Maybe.
Yeah, that's one of those where I'm sure the people who have read spoilers already know the answer to the question. Let's not.
And then Ian asks, are you surprised North America will not be the first non-Japanese market to screen it? Well, here's the thing. We don't know what the overall setup of the... Like, for example, we know it's screening in Australia and New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
We don't quite know how wide that is, even compared to the not wide US release. And a lot of things is based on scheduling. Like, for example, um, doing it in early March wasn't really an option because I don't think they were going to put it in theaters at the same time as My Hero Academia.
Oh yeah.
And there's other anime
Mm-hmm.
films coming out in the US early then. So late March is
Yeah.
when the schedule worked out. No, let's see. Not answering about the Digimon Masters thing for the 100th time. No, let's see. Um, I don't think all the anime has had anything to do with Digimon in the UK, Corlu. I think in the UK it's been Mad Men in the UK, hasn't it? Or Manga UK, sorry.
Yeah.
Um, we're not gonna play guess the. I know people like that. I don't think. Do we have any interest in guess the partner for characters?
For which one?
Someone was
Or
asking,
which
do we
one?
want to predict Mew's partner type?
Miyu?
The young girl in Survive.
Oh, and Survive. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
try to.
yeah.
That'll be. You'll have to wait till next month's veto for
Okay.
that.
Here's my guess. She gets some type of Digimon is her type of partner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess I'm correct on that. Okay, this one was good. This is a combination of like
I
two or
don't
three.
remember who. I don't even remember who Miyu is. So
The tiny girl with the hat who was humming. Was she humming
Yeah,
Butterfly?
I still don't know who that was.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Just call her female TK.
So Yukari?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Last time it was mentioned that after time passes, there were no functional differences with Tri's OVAs and Kizuna as a movie. Are there any actual differences to us? And the answer is actually yes, because it can change the home video release.
I'm not sure. I don't understand the wording of this question.
I tried to reword it like 3 times and it became kind of hard to, while keeping what they're. I believe what they're asking was that last time we discussed how Tri or OVAs, Kizuna's a movie, but over time it kind of doesn't matter because.
Okay.
Because, like, here's the thing. When we say Tri's an OVA, we mean it was made for direct-to-video, but it was in theaters. But now that it's done, it is just movies on a DVD. There is no. It is just a movie thing.
Mm-hmm.
So its origins do not necessarily affect the person watching it. That's how I took it. I may have misinterpreted the question. I think that's what they meant. And then the person basically said, once everything is out, what are the difference for fans, if at all? Well, one, Kizuna has nicer animation because it's a movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Kizuna has a budget. That's you're gonna notice that, and there's something to that because it's sort of the way we look at movies 1 through 3 compared to movies 4 through 6. It's like those movies sort of stand out because they were part of a movie.
Yeah,
even as much as it's the weird English, the way that it was handled weirdly in English. You sort of have those 3 movies, and then you sort of have the other ones, which were just sort of the Jetix movies.
Yeah. It's sort of like one way to think about it is, did you see Teen Titans go to the movies?
No, but I kind of wanted to, even though I've never been interested in Teen Titans Go.
Very basic designs, same designs from the show, but the movie's animated very nicely. That is a movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the DC animated direct-to-video movies?
No.
They functionally have the same animation as Tri, where it is basically low budget and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically the differences we're talking about, where what Tri is a feature-length thing, but it's not budgeted or put together as movies.
Yeah.
Other than the animation, the main difference can be what we end up with on home video, because for Tri, they had to have those done at far ahead of time because they had the discs in theaters. Mm-hmm. They were selling and renting them digitally at the same time. They had them subtitled for Crunchyroll. So those discs were probably done a month, 2 month, 3 months beforehand, which is probably why the theater disc for part 2 was delayed until part 3 came out. Because they were probably running late getting the disc done.
Yeah.
For the movie, they can wait. And like you didn't get any of the tried discs from Japan, right?
From Japan, no.
Okay. So ignoring part 6, since that was the last one, and part 1, each one actually would include commercials from the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Because those were being edited probably at the last minute, those commercials. So the part 3 disc would have commercials for part 2. The ones that aired on TV and stuff there. Because those discs were done at the time. So hopefully we can get some neat extras here. I mean,
yes,
like various parts of Try have commentaries which don't exist on disc anywhere. We know they did commentaries in theaters. We don't know if they recorded them, but if those were movies, they could have put those on the disc.
They could put those on the discs. Yeah.
Hopefully those will show up someday, but they existed at least for one thing.
I mean, they had the opportunity to do that with the Tri Blu-rays. Yeah. Or the big box set they did just recently.
To be fair, that was basically more a price down re-release rather than a real box set. Because that was about $150, which was priced down for Try quite a bit.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing was that they actually did new disc art. I mean, it's the theatrical posters, but I would have thought it would have been much easier to be cheap. It would have been much easier to be cheap and just use the pre-existing ones. Let's see. We'll give them one more chance for questions before we call it, so think up anything because we'll be tying it up soon. The general plan at the moment is the movie's March 25th. I think I can safely say AR is going to see the movie.
I have tickets. If anyone is in the area, Wisconsin, for seeing the movie, so that's where you
as do I
join me. Which a couple people at the panel said they would.
Yeah,
we're actually planning to go to that movie.
So here is the general plan at the moment for everyone listening. Is our next episode will probably be March 22nd or 23rd at night, just me and AR and just burning through news. Then
I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Then the 28th at noon. The current plan is, and I need to double check, no daylight savings times ending in Australia or anything like that.
At some point on that day.
Yeah, it will be me and you. At this point, whether she's able to get to a screen or not, May plans to participate since she knows the spoilers because she read the book. I think there's an argument to be made. The experience is different, but she will know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I've spoken to Jeff, who used to host Podicious. At the moment, he will be there. In the case of Victor, I have not gotten a straight answer from Victor if he will install Discord or not.
I'm surprised that's the hang-up, but okay.
Well, the hang-up isn't... One sec. Let me open my messages, and I will go over the hang-up. So,
I'll also add that I will have a system restore post for the movie the day after the movie. So if it airs on the 25th, my goal is to have a full post reviewing the movie on my site on the 26th.
Okay, so let us jump back to February 6th. I send Victor a message. When you have the time, mind sending me your Discord. I get back 2 responses. I do not use Discord. I'm not even entirely sure what it is. I then message him.
That's amazing.
I then message him.
I feel like he's the only geek of the age of 40 that doesn't know what Discord is.
I then message him. It's Irk and Skype combined into something more usable. The updates to Skype proved unworkable for podcasting long term. We moved it into Discord, which is why we record in Discord.
Yeah.
The response then I got, "Oh, I see." And then the next day I got a weird little scribble of like, I don't know what it is. It's like a red dollar bill he drew with a random symbol in it. And the response that I sent him was, I'm trying to decide if that has meaning I should be aware of. And I've not heard back from him since.
Most negotiations for guests go like this,
Yes.
incidentally.
This is
The
rough.
Nimoy conversation was very much similar.
Yeah, but it is effectively trying to figure out if Victor is even willing to install Discord. At the moment, I'm saying no, but I will attempt to drag him into it.
Also, 5 people would be a lot.
True, but it would be the one time to do it, I would say. Would be for this. So we will see. At the moment, but yeah, Jeff's a definite yes. Victor is weird scribble, which he actually drew on an actual piece of paper and then photographed.
Oh, good Lord.
I will send you the piece of paper later. Perhaps there's meaning to it. I do not understand that you might be able to glean from it.
He spent too much time in Iowa. That's his problem. Yeah. The corn, it gets to you.
Yeah. So it looks like no more questions. So where can they find you, AR?
Digimon.firstagent.com is my, or no, Digimon.net is my website. Weird. I should know that.
Type First Agent ARP into Google. It will take you somewhere.
Yeah, I'm on First Agent ARP on Twitter. Digimon.firstagent.net is the System Restore website, which is reviewing the best episode coming Monday. And I'm on other places too. Tumblr is my home. Digimon.tumblr.com or firstagent.tumblr.com is my Tumblr for
AR.
That's where you can read all the Kizuna countdown.
Do I need to write the stuff into the notes in the future?
I mean, you probably should do that as a general thing anyway.
Well, here's the thing you have to remember.
Oh, you mean the notes for both of us?
No, I mean your information.
Yeah, maybe. I should at least put that on my own.
You guys can find May at Ancient Irismon, Lost in Translation Mon. I think she might be camping or so. She's off having fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I do not expect her to be in the we have to go through news episode just because.
No, I mean, if we're doing that one on a weeknight, that's a hard no.
And honestly, at some point, if news continues, it's not going to continue like this. We've talked. We may go back to doing once a month a episode at night just to go through news, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Things are going to be once Kizuna comes out in the U.S. It's going to be very much flux based on what we get of the. Do you know what we're able to access of the new series?
Do you know what the most shocking thing is?
This episode. That I don't remember my websites. Yeah.
This episode's shorter than the last one, despite everything we had to talk about.
That actually doesn't surprise me much because we only focusing so much on we can only talk so much about all of their.
See, the thing is
especially because I didn't really look at it much.
Well, the thing is we could have talked about it more. It's that there was too much to actually talk about. Mm-hmm. So if there were only 2 or 3 things, we could have easily spent 5 minutes on each one. Because there's so many, it became a minute and then move on and then.
Yeah. Which is about all the capacity my brain has for all this merch to begin with. So, a lot of the stuff, honestly, when a collaboration was announced, I didn't click on and peruse everything longingly, which is a first because usually, I did that pretty much everything for Try and everything.
Well, to be fair,
for Kizuna up to last week.
To be fair, though, the last week was psychotic.
Yeah.
That there was more in the last week and I said this earlier, but I'm really not kidding. I think we got more of this in the last week than we got for any part of Try, including 6 total. If not, it's absolutely. At least close.
Yeah.
And of course, some of this stuff we'll see again, like the Metal Greymon. We'll have more to say about that in the future.
Oh
yeah. I would love an art book just with all the collaboration stuff we've gotten the last few years. Like that, I would buy.
Oh, all the collaboration stuff. That would be interesting.
I mean, not necessarily the products, but like the art.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so those are our plans for the next 2 episodes. The movie.
Everyone's gonna really love the episode title for this one. I highly approve of it.
Yeah. See, here's the way the episode titles work. I will think up something. Doesn't mean it's the final one, and I'll put it on the notes. Just it's a theme of the episode or a pun or whatever. And sometimes the episode gives me a title. This time it works.
Yeah, this is done.
Yeah, I'm not saying what it is, but
I'm like, yep, that's the title.
Yeah, this is the it. Not saying what it is, but it's funny. It's one of my dumb jokes, but it's the best one we have because it is the thing that matters the most to people.
And the important thing is we didn't have to talk about X evolution stuff or X antibody stuff this time, so we don't have to have an X pun.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. Well, because here's the thing: X puns are easy to make.
This feels like the first episode where we never had to bring stuff. It's the first episode in a long time, at least.
And maybe not in the next month, but at some point soon.
I didn't even get through my panel without having to talk about antibody stuff.
At some point, the theming for the podcast will change to match the new site. There just was not time to do it here. Is that about it?
I hope so. I've had the rest of my family quarantined in the bedroom for the last 2 hours.
Join Patreon or send money through PayPal. Send AR a Ko-fi.
Yes, please. Send Onke a Ko-fi as well.
Yeah, send Onke many Ko-fis.
Yeah, for sure.
The last year and a half, she's probably translated more random junk for me than she has in a decade.
And she completed the rest of the original adventure novel.
Yes.
That's not something to sleep on. Yeah. Because that had been unfinished for a long time.
Yeah. Think that's about it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's almost shocking, isn't it? How
just
smoothly
end the show already, or we're going to
never. I want something to go wrong. We will see you guys. We will see you guys next time. AR has to leave so he can go to Hot Topic. Bye.
Bye.